Welcome to the best decision you've all made this year. Being here today. Give yourselves a cheer. Give yourselves a cheer. Welcome. Woo! We're in sync already. We're feeling the energy. This is the place to be today. I guarantee all of you. This is the stage where you can come and go as you please. We guarantee you two things. Do you know what those two things are? Have a guess. Have a wild guess. We promise to make you laugh and to make you learn a little bit. We're going to try to do that. We're going to get on 6 incredible guests, some of the likes you've heard of. They've been in headlines all around the world, Estonian homegrown heroes, as well as international superstars. Give it up for the international superstars! All right, my name is Matt C. Smith, and this is my first time in Tallinn, which is amazing. Exactly. We got some locals here. I was going to say cheer if you're locals, but you're already on it. It's a good sign for the event, right? You're eager, you're ready to go. Give me a cheer if you're from the Baltics. All right. I've done that in the Nordics. And any Norwegians in the room? The Norwegians are like, yeah. The Danes are like, very mouth open. The Swedes, very like high pitch. So the Baltics are leveling that up so far. But we have something very exciting. You can keep going with the drum roll. I love that. Drum roll, please. We have something exciting to do today because we have a house band, do we not, Gleb? These guys. And we have a name for them, which is Estonian. Because some of you might be familiar with, what's the house band of Jimmy Fallon on the late night show, sir? Help him here. You know it. Help him here. The Roots, brilliant, exactly, right? So this is my Roots, and we're in Estonia, so I described them in a different terminology, right? Because I'm trying to be local. I'm trying to localize the show for all of lucky you watching this all at the top there. Give us a cheer at the top. All right. So I'm going to announce the house band in a second, right? So we were thinking about the Estonian name, right? And here's my man Fish on the drums, right? And we were riffing, what should we call the house band? So he told me the name is going to be Juured! Wow, we're in sync. Give it up for Juured! Whoa.
Hey, there's one thing. I'm sorry. There's one thing. Like, we're a quintet. There's always a tambourine guy. We didn't fit the 5th guy. Like, what do you think? Like, could he be the guy?
Can I be the guy today?
No.
Can I be the guy today? Oh, Fish!
Yes!
I'm finally part of a band, Mum! Oh yes, I love it. Although I was told not to be confused with juuras, right? Which is an Estonian word for bullshit, apparently. Are you Estonian? Then why am I pointing at you to help me with Estonian words? You have... Well, you sat in the front row, my friend. What's your name? Eric, he's an investor, ladies and gentlemen. He has 2 seats next to him. Any founders in the room, go and pitch this guy while the show is going on, okay? Yes. All right. Now, this show is unique because we have some incredible guests for all of you. What we're going to do, though, because we have the amazing Juured, yes, we're going to get them to come up with a tune, the intro song, the intro music, for each individual that we're going to bring on the show. There'll be 3 before a break. We're going to start with Timmu in just a minute, but I thought we would warm you guys up and warm all of you up with getting the intro music for me. So, what I'm going to do though, gentlemen, just to make this more fair, is I'm going to ask someone else to just read out this random intro for me, right? You know, here we go. Someone from the audience. Ooh, Estonians don't like this, do they? I'm walking in the audience with a mic. What might happen? Who wants to read out the intro to me? And we're going to let them pick my intro music. Yes, brother. All right, you're up. So, right. See if you can read this.
Here, right? Like this. Hello, everybody. Founds, friends, fools, please welcome your host for the day. What is
my handwriting? That's his handwriting. The most handsomest.
The most handsomest.
He said that, not me. Man in the room.
Man in the room.
Thanks to his mother.
Thanks to his mother, South African. Olympic team athlete and effective communicator expert, Matty Smith!
Sex machine!
Now you can put it there. Thanks. Yes! Okay, we got the ball rolling now. So we're going to do, gentlemen, you know the riff now. I'm going to announce the next guest, the first guest of the day. Before we do that, let's see how the audience is feeling. Give me a shout out, and you're in this row over here. 1, 2, 3. All right, we got a good level over here. Give me a shout out if you're over here. At the back there. I love how you all went for the woo. It's always interesting to see where the energy of the room is because they go, yeah, oh. The Estonians go for you. So I want to keep the yous going throughout the show, okay? All right, so, you ready, gentlemen? For the first person of the show. I'll read his intro out, and you'll guess his song, and then, once they're playing, you cruise on, you take a seat here, sir. All right, everyone? We're good? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll get in my chair. For the first guest of the late afternoon show here at Latitude59, for the first time and forevermore, booking myself for next year. Always got to think about the future. This gentleman started his story with 4 guys and a 3D printer. What could be that the title for? Today, they live in New York City, rub shoulders with the likes of celebrities, and have raised over $70 million in venture capital from the likes of Andreessen Horowitz. And now they have 80 people, work with 2,000 companies. Give it up for the CEO at Ready Player Me, Timmu Tõke!
Let's go. Yes.
Timmu,
thank you, man.
How are you, my
Thank
friend?
I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for coming.
Thank
Have
you.
a seat, have a seat. Oh. All right, give it up for
Hello.
Timmu, everyone.
Your energy made my jet lag disappear in a second.
That's why I'm here, my friend. That's why I'm here. You flew in this morning?
2 days ago.
Okay, but you're from here.
I'm from here.
So it's like coming home.
I'm very Estonian. This is my home. Yes.
All right, Timmu, I'm curious. So, you know, based in New York City, you have investment from Andreessen Horowitz. Have you met him?
I have.
What is he like?
Which one? Ben Horowitz is like...
Ben Horowitz.
Yes. Ben Horowitz is our mentor, so I meet him every month.
I'm curious because do we all know who the Horowitz and the Andreessens are? Give us a wave if you do. You're aware of these gentlemen. Awesome, awesome. Who are these gentlemen?
So...
And why are they important?
Yeah, I mean, they're first amazing entrepreneurs. One of them created the Mosaic browser, which kind of kickstarted the internet wave or boom in the 90s. Another one built a few software companies, and they also created one of the top venture firms, and one of the biggest ones.
And now, obviously, have a venture fund by their names, like all good law firms.
Yeah.
They decided to go for that. What's it been like moving to New York as well? I'm curious, having that transition from Estonia, from Tallinn, where the business started, to scaling, and why did you see the need to move to the US?
Yeah, so I mean, most of our customers are in the US, most of our investors are in the US, and definitely future investors and so forth. And it's just like the kind of pool of talent you can work with and learn from is so much deeper. But it's like, you have to be where our customers are. That's the number one thing. And the transition has been awesome. I mean, I lived in LA 5 years ago as well, and I've been to the States a lot, so it doesn't really feel like a very much a transition. And I still come to Estonia all the time.
If you had to choose New York, Estonia, careful now, you got an Estonian audience here, dude.
What was the question?
If you had to choose New York or Estonia?
Estonia.
There we go, give them up. Estonia, homegrown hero.
Yeah.
Now, the business. Who's heard of Ready Player Me?
Yay.
Yeah, it's working. Marketing's working well. But that was your team, right? 80 people, they're all here.
Yeah,
the
that's
audience,
the
right?
team, that's right.
You brought them intentionally. I love it. But I'm curious about the product itself. I mean, humble beginnings, 4 guys and a 3D printer. The question we all want to know is what happened to the 3D printer?
We still have it.
You still have it?
Yeah, we actually have quite a few. They're in a garage.
Okay. Do they have equity? They were instrumental to the journey?
So we basically, first I grew up, played a lot of games. That's what, and I understood what virtual currencies and virtual items are back then, and games and virtual was important. Then I got interested in 3D printing, which led to 3D scanning things, like initially objects, then our friends, and then that led to building avatars. And when Oculus was acquired by Facebook, like 7-8 years ago, we realized VR is probably going to be a market. We thought it's going to happen a lot earlier than it has. And then we realized avatars are going to play a huge role in VR. And that's where we basically committed to building like an avatar company to make it easy for anyone to build avatars. But it's been many iterations of the product, from hardware to custom building software for gaming companies, to eventually Ready Player Me that really took off.
Has anyone got an avatar today? No? This guy does. You two have.
I don't believe
you work at Ready Player Me, don't you? Yeah, dude. I mean, strategically positioning the team around the audience there.
Yeah.
Where are we in the evolution of avatar development, right? We've seen gaming go a certain way. Now, people almost look like people on games. Say, all these different developers. But where are we in that avatar development phase currently?
Yeah, so I mean, the gaming industry is a $200 billion industry. So, and avatars are one of the primary ways games monetize. So like Fortnite, one of the bigger games, they make $5 billion a year selling avatar cosmetics, avatar outfits, basically. So it's a very proven business model and a very important part of game experiences. But what we are bringing into the market is avatars that travel between games. So instead of buying a Fortnite skin and only using it in Fortnite, you can now use it in almost 10,000 experiences through Ready Player Me. And for a developer, it's, do you sell outfits and avatars in your game that only work on your game or in tens of thousands of games? Which, of course, helps them make more money and take part of the kind of general virtual world metaverse economy. And generally, like, the metaverse has kind of two paths. Right now, we're on a kind of a closed path where each world is its own kind of walled garden.
So individual, because we have Facebook with Meta. I mean, they even renamed their business Meta, right? And then we know that Microsoft are building their own metaverse. I forget what it's called, some Azure link. Maybe some of you in the room know that. But it was my understanding, like you said, that isn't there meant to just be one metaverse?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the metaverse should be more like the internet, where you can navigate between different worlds and virtual experiences and have a consistent avatar, have assets you can carry around. Today, that's not the case. The big game companies and the big tech companies are trying to own the metaverse. They're trying to become the monopoly, the owner of the whole thing and make all the rules. We're trying to pave the way to a more kind of open and decentralized metaverse where you can navigate between different worlds, and it's built by millions of creators and builders and developers instead of one big company that makes all the rules. And we think that's a much better future for the world than a monopoly.
Because, I mean, the scary thought is, and maybe you'll agree with this, Facebook renaming themselves to Meta at the beginning of all of our introduction to the metaverse, right? Maybe made us all a little bit scared of it. Throw hands up for Timmu here, who is currently in the metaverse. Hopefully not now, though, with a headset on. And raise your hands if you're doing something in the metaverse. We've got a gentleman over there at the top there. We got no hands up there. Yep. We know you work there.
That's the team. That's the team.
All right, because I got a curious question, which is, we all joke in our startup industry game how can you really describe what you do to your grandmother, and does she get it, right? So I'm going to flip the question and say, Timmu, how would you describe Ready Player Me and the metaverse to a VC that happens to be a child?
Well, that's a lot easier than a VC that happens to be a boomer.
Good point.
Like, for a child, the avatar you use in Roblox? What if you can use it in thousands of games? That's what we do.
Simple. Yeah.
Like, kids grow up, they're virtual world natives, right? Like, 10 to 15-year-olds in the US, they have more social interactions with their friends in games, in Roblox, in Minecraft, in Fortnite, than in real life. So they grow up with avatars, with virtual experiences. And when they grow up and start working together, there'll be tools they use that are more 3D, virtual, using avatars and so forth. So there's a whole generation of virtual world metaverse natives already. Yeah. But it's very hard to see that as when you're not in that generation or don't have kids in that generation. Anyone that has kids in that generation knows the Roblox or Fortnite credit cards, the
it's
skin
in their bank
purchases
statement somewhere, more than they'd like it probably.
Yeah.
But the most important question I know you all want to know, and we know that Jured will be able to answer. Jured, what would the metaverse sound like? Here we go. Ooh.
Whoa. I like that metaverse.
That was. You can maybe take a little snippet of that. Give it up for Jured, everyone. How's that? So Estonian founders, the team now obviously quite spread out in the US and things like that. Is there, we talk about brand Scandi. Scandinavia is a really interesting brand when we go abroad, right? And obviously I know we're in the Baltics, don't worry, I saw a map. But Baltics has their brand too. How have you found it? Obviously, I'm sure you've done the flip now. You flipped to a Delaware incorporated company in the US to take the money from them. But how did you find it, the sentiment and opinions of Estonian founders in the US? I mean, were they like, where is that on the map? Where's the American in the room? Eric, you can do the voiceover later, maybe. I'm just kidding. But how was the sentiment initially? Were you treated with sort of, where is that?
Estonian entrepreneurs have a very good reputation in the US, in the VC community. Like if you speak with a random person in the street, they're like, is that a city or is that a country, obviously? But the VC community knows. And anyone that has worked with Estonians before, like they generally want to do more of that, So Andreessen Horowitz has invested in Wise, for example, and worked with them closely and so forth. So yeah, I think Estonia has a very good reputation.
I'm curious. Raise your hands if you're a founder in the room. Raise your hands if you're a founder in the room. Oh, we've got a few founders here and there. Is it all investors in here? They all want to invest in Ready Player Me. That's why they're here. I mean,
Team and investors.
We can do a deal behind the table, right?
Yeah.
I get the founder stock, right? Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. And hold your hand up if you're an Estonian founder. Okay, we got a couple in the room. Timmu, this is your chance. What advice would you give to a founder right now, seed stage in your industry?
Seed stage founder in my industry. I think like as a first-time founder, I certainly in the first, raising the first seed rounds, you think the magic is about telling, pitching in the right way and getting in touch with investors and all this stuff seems like the most important thing. And we raised several rounds and spoke with 120 investors for 8 months in the first seed rounds. And after finding product market fit and actually building a business that is like worth investing in, the fundraising part is the easy part. It's just like that happens on its own. People come to you. So like instead of spending a lot of time thinking about the next fundraise and how to do the pitch and stuff, just build a great business that grows and finds product market fit. And even if you manage to raise money without the product market fit, then most likely it just ties you to the company for years and might still not take you anywhere. So you need to find product market fit for yourself and for the VCs and so forth. And that's like the only thing that you should be doing. And everything else is easy. And once you find product market fit, I have experiences in 6 or 7 years of not having it. It's very fucking hard to build anything. Once you have something that is special, interesting, everything is the problems are different. It's very hard still, but it's like different. So that's the only thing that matters.
There you go. You got some personalized advice there for you. I'll send you an invoice later. Thanks for coming to the show. That's how we fund these things. I'm curious as well, what would be the moral of the story so far in your journey? You touched on it there very briefly about the iterative process, trying to find product market fit. They say that to succeed in our game, I've been a founder myself, I've failed a company and sold a company actually. To be successful in our game, it's about perseverance, right? It's about outlasting. It's about pushing through the no's, right? Like you just said, 3 rounds, 120 investors every time. What's been the moral of your story so far? Yeah.
So my co-founder was on the stage like 3 or 4 years ago, and he was like, and that was like, we didn't have Ready Player Me. It was like things were going, but not easy. And he basically told the story that in an emerging market where kind of you're dependent on the market taking off, the strategy is basically to keep building, survive, and become an expert in something. And then when the market arrives, then you are the one to take it. And it doesn't work in all the industries. But with emerging tech, that is definitely a strategy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a strategy I would execute on it myself again. But that was our story. It was like building, keeping one of our core values is we're better than we were yesterday. So being a better founder every day, every year, building a better product every year, and really becoming an expert in a field that is going to be extremely valuable in the future, but nobody else yet knows. And it's very hard to tell in the 6th month of the 5th year if you're fucking crazy or if it's actually going to work. But the more of our story was just to keep trying and keep evolving. And we're actually from Pärnu with 40,000 people initially, guys that knew nothing about nothing. We didn't know what the fucking VC means, So it took us a lot of time as founders to keep pushing each other to become better. So we will be ready when the moment comes to capture the market that we have, helped to create or whatever.
To wrap things up, mate, I'm curious, with a little background music from Jurad, maybe. So try and match the music to what Timmu is going to say now. So what drives you and keeps you going, Timmu? Feel free to bob along to it.
Yeah. I think just being better, and
you can address the audience.
Yes, being better and building things. I think now is the most exciting time because we have the resources, we have the team that we worked so hard for a long time, and we have so many new things we need to solve and problems to solve and things to build. So now is a very, very exciting time because hard problems that are solvable but very complex. So it's kind of like the flow state,
What's next?
I mean, I can do this for another 10 years. So our goal is to push the world towards a more open and connected metaverse. So the goal is to prove that if you as a game sell cross-game assets and have cross-game avatars, that's a better business. And once we prove that to the world, then we hope that is a big contribution to a lot of the industry converting towards building more open worlds instead of closed walled gardens forever.
Final question. How can we all help you today using this platform or our friends up here on the top row, in the right row, in the left row there? Timmu, what can we do for you?
We need game developers, people that build stuff. We also are working with other fashion brands and creators of virtual fashion. So if you are one or know some, then I would love to connect.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our first guest of the day, Timmu Tõke! Timmu, my man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Brother, that was fun, man.
Yes, it was.
Good,
Thank you. Yeah.